Hello, everyone. Again, welcome to our virtual class. This is your OLC, Mary Jane R. Laranang, in this subject, Information Management. So our topic for this week is the week Module 8 topic, which is the Web-Enabled Enterprise. So after completing this module, you students will be able to first describe how the web and high-speed internet connections are changing business operations, explain the functionality of various web technologies, compare and contrast options for web servers, explain the basic business-to-business and business-to-consumer practices on the web, explain the relationship between web technologies and supply chain management, give examples of features and services that successful business websites offer, and then last, learn about online annoyances such as spam and adware and how to protect against online identity theft. Okay, so we will begin with the different web technologies. So several standards and technologies enable the web to deliver rich information, including we have the HTTP, those are web technologies, the XML, RSS, we have wikis, IM, HTML, file transfer, blogs, podcasting, and cookies. So we will discuss this one later. So HTTP or HTTPS means a hypertext transfer protocol. This is the underlying protocol used by the World Wide Web, and this protocol defines how messages are formatted and transmitted and what actions web servers and browsers should take in response to various commands. So HTTPS or HTTP is secure for confidential data exchange. So they are almost the same except for the security. And then under the HTTP, we have also the Uniform Resource Locator, or that is the unique address given to each website. Then we have also the IP address, that is a special numeric address used by a certain site. Then we have also the domain name. So domain name, that is the unique name for a website constructed with letters. The URL also refers to the domain name. So for example, if you enter a URL in your browser, it actually sends an HTTP command to the web server that directs it to get the requested web page and transmit it. So the other big framework governing how the World Wide Web works is the HTML. So for example, if you type google.com, so it will display the page of the Google, or amasonline.com, so it will display our LMS portal. So HTTP is a stateless protocol. HTTP is called a stateless protocol because each command is executed independently with no knowledge of the preceding commands. So this is the main reason why websites that respond smartly to use input are difficult to implement. Then we have HTTP status codes are error messages. So errors on the internet can be quite frustrating, especially if you do not know the difference between a 404 error and a 502. So these error messages are called the HTTP status codes, a response code given by the web servers and help identify the cause of the problem. So for example, a 404 file not found error, that is a common HTTP status code. It means that the web server cannot find the file you requested, or is incorrect URL. This means that the web page or other document you try to load in your web browser has either been moved or deleted, or you entered the wrong URL or the document name. So that is the 404 file not found. What about HTTPS? So HTTP and the HTTPS, a similar abbreviation, that is Hypertext Transfer Protocol, but S is for security, for secure. So basically, it is the secure version of the HTTP. So they have the same functionalities except for the security. Then we have also the RSS. So RSS stands for really simple syndication. That is a family of XML file formats that allow automatic downloads of content on a subscription basis. It helps users check for updates. So communicates a short description of content and allows transmittal of information. It is a way to easily distribute a list of headlines, updates, notices, and sometimes content to a wide number of people. So it is used by computer program that organize those headlines and notices for easy reading. That is RSS. So what problem does RSS resolve? So how do we apply RSS? Most people are interested in many websites whose content changes on an unpredictable schedule. Example of such websites are the news sites, community and religious organization information pages. So product information pages, we have also the medical websites and the web blog. So repeatedly checking each website to see if there is a new content can be very tedious. Then email notification of changes, that is also function of RSS, was an early solution to this problem. So when you receive an email notification from multiple websites, they are usually disorganized and can get overwhelming and are often mistaken to spam. Then RSS is a better way to be notified of new and changed content. The notification of changes to multiple websites are handled easily and the results are presented to you in a well-organized and distinct from an email. So how does RSS work? So RSS works by having the website author maintain a list of notifications on either website in a standard way. So RSS, this one, the list of notification is called the RSS feed. So people who are interested in finding out the latest headlines or changes can check the list. So that is how does RSS works. Then what information does RSS provide? So RSS provides very basic information to do its notification. It is made up of a list of items presented in order from newest to oldest. So each item usually consists of a simple title describing the item along with a more complete description and a link to a web page with the actual information being described. Okay, so let's continue. We have the RSS Aggregator Programs. So RSS aggregators automatically check a series of RSS feeds for new items on an ongoing basis, making it possible to keep track of changes to multiple websites without needing to tediously read and reread each of the websites yourself. So how do I find out if a website has an RSS feed? So it is getting more and more commonly for websites to have RSS feeds. So they usually indicate the existence of the feed on the home page or main news page with a link to RSS, or sometimes by displaying an orange button with the letters XML or RSS. So how the RSS is feed file produced. So most large news websites and most weblogs are maintained using special content management programs. Then websites that are produced in a more custom manner, such as with the Macromedia, Dreamweaver, or simple text editor, usually do not automatically create the RSS feeds. So that here is the diagram. As you can see in the PowerPoint presentation, showing how the websites, the RSS feed, XML files, and your personal computers are connected. So using the browser, we have the RSS feed aggregator going to the web server, going to your personal computer. So other uses of the RSS. So in addition to notifying you about news headlines and changes to websites, RSS can be used for many other purposes. So we have the notification of the arrival of new products in a store. Then listing and notifying you of newsletter issues, including the email newsletters. That's why you will be able to receive an automatic email newsletter, same as with the notification of the new products. If you are browsing in Facebook or even in your email, then weather and other alerts for changing conditions. That is the use of the RSS. And then notification of addition of new items to a database or the new members to a group. Okay, so let's proceed with the wikis. So wikis, Wikipedia, a popular online encyclopedia. So wiki technology is a popular ingredient in groupware, software used for collaboration. So wiki, that is from Hawaiian, meaning quick. That is a tool used for searching. So web application that enables users to add to and edit the content of a web pages. So that's why if you're going to use the Wikipedia as your reference, it is not a reliable one because you can edit the content uh, of the Wikipedia. So all the software required to edit the web pages is embedded in the pages themselves. So that is Wiki. Then we have also the IM, or the instant messaging. It is a real-time chat form of synchronized. You can also have a chat room, communicate with a group. Then we have also, this is a free applications for IM. It can include the business uses, the customers. Customers can chat with sales or support representatives. For example, in the Shopee or Lazada, if you have problem with your purchase item, you can directly contact the customer service through instant messaging embedded in their application. So that is IM. So the term instant messenger is a trademark owned by Time Warner that should only be used when describing the AOL software. Okay, so we have here some examples of the IM software. We have the Google Talk. We have also the Skype. We have the Windows Live Messenger, the Yahoo Messenger. We have also the Facebook Messenger. So those are an example of the instant messaging or IM. Okay, so let's proceed with the HTML and XML. So HTML or hypertext markup language helps developer create web pages. So when you heard HTML, that is developing a web page. So that determines look and location of the content. Then extensible markup language or the XML enables creation of various data types. It conveys the meaning or content of the data. Then we have also the XHTML, that is the combination of the XML and the HTML. Uses opening and closing tags to control format. And then file transfer protocol. So FTP stands for file transfer protocol. So as the name implies, it is the way of transferring files between computers. So that is the protocol in transferring files. It is also one of those wonderful computer terms that both a noun and a verb. Okay, so as a noun, file transfer protocol is the name for a method of sending files, but also the name of the program that actually sends the files. So example, please send the file using the FTP. That is the term used for FTP. And then as a verb, it means to send or receive files. So a proper replacement, the word send or fetch usage example is FTP it to me or send it to me. So another is file transfer protocol is used to transmit full files. It's used in all downloads from the websites. So any type of file can be transferred. So it can be a Word document, even a movie file. We can also transfer that or an installer. Then it can place files on a server for shared use. So there are some mails that do not support a larger size of file. So we have to transfer it first to the drive or the Google Drive and share the link to the receiver. So often used to deliver purchase software products on websites. So that is file transfer protocol. Okay, so let's proceed with the blog. So blog, that is a contraction of weblog. So invites surfers to post opinions and arts. Focuses on a topic or set of topics. So it uses Dropback, that is a tool that notifies bloggers when their posts have been mentioned elsewhere on the web. So that is a blog. So blogs are often used by businesses. So importance of blogs to commercial organization is to find out what blog participants think and say about the organization. So that blog can be a marketing strategy of some businesses because they will be able to advertise their products through blogs. Okay, so let's proceed with the podcasting. So podcasting, it is for publishing sound and video on the web for download. So usually on a subscription basis. It uses and include time-shifted broadcast of radio station programs for later listening. So a podcast is an audio file that can be downloaded from the internet, often on an MP3 format. So once a podcast has been downloaded, it can be listened to a computer or be transferred to a portable device such as an iPad or other portable media player or the PMP. Then, podcasting, audio tours, and museums, the lectures and distance learning courses. So we can also use podcasting in distance learning. Then allows aspiring musicians to post music tracks. So that's the use of the podcasting. So we have the key pedagogical points about podcasting. First is it is a flexible delivery because podcasts are normally downloaded and can be opened onto portable devices like iPads and mobile phones. You can listen to your teacher or to the students anytime and anywhere without requiring being connected to the internet. Then we have also used audio as an educational medium. So we can also use podcasting as educational medium. So the advent of podcasting places a new emphasis on the use of audio resources in learning and teaching. So audio has often been seen as a poor relation to video and other forms of multimedia. And perhaps the greatest challenge is the use of podcasting in education is to find ways in which audio materials can be most effectively used in pedagogical terms. Then last, we have podcasting is easy and cheap. So podcasts are very simple to create and can be produced using the freely available Audacity software and very inexpensive hardware such as a cheap Skype headset that costs less than a peso. So that is podcasting is easy and cheap. So it is easy to use. Then cookies. So cookies is a small file that stores information about the website visitors stored on the visitors' computers. So usually records the server's ID. Then often stores and servers preferences. It provides convenience to the customers. It can be temporary or permanent. So that is cookies. Then potential for intrusion into server privacy. Then it tracks a server's clicking activities. So that's the use of the cookie. And spyware, for spyware traces and reports the online behavior. So there are two basic types of cookies. We have the session cookies and the persistent cookies. So session cookies are created temporarily in your browser's subfolders while you are visiting a website. So once you leave the site, the session cookie is deleted. So on the other hand, persistent cookie files remain in your browser subfolders and are activated again once you visit the website that are created that particular cookie. So a persistent cookie remains in the browser subfolder for the duration period set within the cookies file. So that is the cookie. Okay, so let's proceed with the proprietary technology. So proprietary technology is any combination of processes, tools, or systems of interrelated connections that are the property of a business or individual. So these combinations provide a benefit of competitive advantage to the owners of proprietary technologies. So example, we have the local search engine, the shopping cart applications, the wish list, the video streaming tools, tools to analyze and predict web visitor behavior, especially shopper behavior. So that is proprietary technology. This is not free for all to use. Okay, so let's proceed with the web-enabled enterprise. So web-enabled refers to a product or service that can be used through or in conjunction with the World Wide Web. So a web-enabled product may be accessed through a web browser or be able to connect to other web-based applications in order to synchronize data. So that is the web-enabled enterprise. In web-enabled enterprise, we have what we call the business to business or B2B. So business to business, also called as B2B, is a form of transactions between businesses, such as one involving a manufacturer and a wholesaler, or a wholesaler and a retailer. So that is business to business. Then we have also the business-to-business transactions are common in a typical supply chain as companies purchase components and products such as other raw materials for use in the manufacturing processes. So finished products can then be sold to individuals via business-to-consumer transaction. So if that is from the supplier to supplier, that is business to business. And then B2B examples. So business to business transactions and large corporate accounts are commonplace for firms in manufacturing. So B2B transactions are also the backbone of the automobile industry. The service providers also engage in the B2B transactions. The term, let's proceed with the B2C. The term B2C or business to consumer refers to the process of selling products and services directly between consumers who are the end users of its products or services. So the consumer, that is the user or the one who bought, or the receiver, the one who bought the product. Then, business to consumer is among the most popular and widely known of sales models. B2C traditionally referred to mall shopping, eating out of restaurants. We have the pay-per-view movies and infomercials. So that is the best example of the business to consumer. Okay, so let's proceed with the business to government. The business to government is the sale and marketing of goods and services to federal, state, or local agencies. So in modern lingo, there are three basic business models. We have the business to consumers, business to business, and business to government.